Big drama at Ellen Degeneres' house. You know that she's under fire for her toxic workplace allegations. Well, she was just robbed and nobody has any sympathy for her. Deepa Prashad, who robbed Ellen and why are people not upset?
Well, apparently now they're saying that it's an inside job. So someone that Ellen knew actually robbed her.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, really?
That's cold.
Ellen? It's really cold. So the robbery took place on July 4th, and Ellen and Portia were actually in the house when it happened.
Oh, wow.
But they didn't know that it happened.
You know, so look, when you hear like they were home at the time of the robbery, you're like, oh my God, that's dramatic. Because if it happened in my house or in your house, we would hear it. It would be scary because we live in small houses. However, when Ellen DeGeneres gets robbed and they were in the house, she lives in a compound. It's like you're in a hotel and the front desk gets robbed and you're on the 10th floor. Like they had no idea. It's so big.
Yeah, that's essentially what happened. So apparently someone broke in through the back door and no security systems were triggered, anything like that. So they literally had no idea until they probably walked into this place and they were like, oh crap, we're robbed.
And there's no video? Because I imagine they would have security footage.
Apparently not. So since this happened, Ellen and Portia are like, okay, they're obviously ramping up their security, so they're getting cameras all across their property and stuff. But I'm like, if you have a $27 million property, you probably should invest in cameras in the first place.
Yeah, that house doesn't come with one of those Ring doorbells with the camera?
I guess not. That's not something they invested in. So apparently what was stolen was watches and jewelry, nothing beyond that. First of all, people thought that it was like a regular burglary. The sheriff within their community was like, they're targeted because they're celebrities. People know that their house is loaded full of stuff. But now the same sheriff's department came out and said that this is actually an inside job, and they sent out a newsletter to the Montecito community. That's where she lives, and like Oprah lives there, Ariana Grande lives there. They got a newsletter, and it was like
that's a crazy neighborhood.
I know. I want to be in that mailing list so bad.
Do you think they ever send Oprah letters or notes like, Dear Miss Winfrey, don't forget to get your garbage bins off the street in a timely fashion, please?
Yeah, probably. And telling Ariana Grande to stop her dogs from pooping all over the place.
Yes,
probably.
exactly.
So they all got this newsletter from the sheriff's department saying that, look, you guys don't have to worry. The burglary was actually an inside job, so you don't have to worry about locking up your stuff. And if that was the case, we would warn you about that. So for some reason, they now know that it was someone that Ellen knew that did that. But I don't know how because there's no footage.
Deepa, if it's an inside job, who did it?
I have no idea. They haven't released a list of names. I mean, not like they would actually do that, but they haven't said anything other than it is an inside job. But it could be literally anybody, maybe her employees, people she's worked with, because, you know, she's been caught in this like whirlwind of negative comments about her and her show. People being like, Ellen's not really the person she makes herself out to be. Her workplace is toxic. There's racism there. So, I mean, if someone wanted to get back at her, everyone knows where she lives, so it's pretty easy. And apparently someone just walked through the back door.
Something is very shady here. I don't understand, because those big California properties have enormous fences, right? They've got security, they got cameras. The fact that a random could walk through the back door and they don't have footage, I don't buy it. There's something shady going on here.
I'm like, what if it's Andy, her producer, who's always with her at home filming the show? He must have a key to her property.
Yes!
He's the only person
Oh my God.
who could do this.
Andy, the producer, 100% did it. Well, poor Ellen, having trouble at work and now having trouble at home. We will stay on this story until we find out who robbed Ellen.
Yes, I will personally join the sheriff's office and do some personal investigating myself.
You got to sneak over the border, find your way to California, and then hide in the shrubs just so you can get evidence.
I retract my statement. I'll stay here.